Right now, the marketplace is flooded with a number of different machines representing different operating systems. From Apple, we have iOS and its iPads. Google has its Android OS, which are manufactured by a whole host of different companies. And from Microsoft, there's Windows 8 and Windows 8 RT machines. First up, Apple's refreshed, full-sized iPad, now dubbed the iPad Air. It's got a 9.7-inch screen, and Apple's engineers have sent it on a little bit of a diet. It now weighs less and is slightly thinner than the machine that it replaces. It comes in 2 colours and 4 flavours: 16, 32, 64 and 128 gigabytes as far as storage is concerned. Under the skin, it has an A7 64-bit processor, making the iPad Air something of a portable computing powerhouse. It is very fast for a tablet indeed. However, you still manage to get about 10 hours worth of juice from the batteries, which is a reasonable amount of time to go between charges. The iPad enjoys the best stocked app store. There's over 1 million of them, and this of course means the most popular apps can all be found here: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, well, the list goes on. As it's an iPad, there's only 2 ways that you can plug other things into it. One is via the headphone socket, and the second is via the lightning port just here, which also is how you charge it. If you want to use things like SD cards for additional expandability, well, you're going to have to get a third-party peripheral. Perhaps the biggest problem the iPad Air has is price. Only oligarchs would regard it as being cheap, and that becomes even more of a problem when it's compared to some of the current crop of 10-inch Android tablets. And if price is a concern, this is the Hudl, a cost-conscious Android-powered tablet that's pretty well spec'd. A cheap and cheerful tab that doesn't bear the name of a giant consumer electronics company, but actually comes courtesy of a store you'd normally purchase your groceries in. Available in a range of bright colours, its soft plastic case houses a 7-inch screen, a screen that's bright, clear, and has a pretty wide viewing angle as well. It comes with 16 gig of storage as standard, and there's a micro SD slot which can accommodate cards up to 32 gigabytes. The Hudl has a quad-core processor, but if you give it too much to do, it will struggle slightly. However, if you don't have too many applications open, it's fine. You'll end up with about 9 hours out of the batteries. The Google Play Store is almost as jam-packed as its Apple counterpart, with about 850,000 apps. Tesco's made an addition to the normal Android experience with the T button. This provides direct access to the supermarket's online services, but apart from that, it's straight up Android. It's not the fastest 7-inch Android tablet out there, but it is a solid and reliable option. Our final tablet uses the Windows 8 RT operating system and is produced by recent Microsoft acquisition Nokia. It's the snappily named Lumia 2520. Nokia's take on the tab features a full HD 10.1-inch screen. It is a bit lighter than the only other Windows RT device, the Surface 2 from Microsoft. Windows tablets feel a lot more like laptops that have had their keyboards locked off than the rival tablet devices with iOS or Google operating systems. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though. The 2520 certainly has an abundance of ports and plugs. There's micro SDHC, micro HDMI for connecting to a TV, and micro USB 3 for rapid data connections. The battery's good for 10 hours as well. The tablet itself has a pretty good screen, which is really bright. It's a fast and responsive device, and it comes fully loaded with Windows Office. Windows RT is not full-fat Windows 8 though. It's not compatible with old-school Windows software, which has not been designed to work with the new style-tiled interface. There's nearly 130,000 apps in the Windows Store, and new apps are on the way all the time. The 2520 is a good tablet, but it has a limited number of applications available to it in comparison to its rivals. However, it's reasonably powerful and has so many connectivity options, you can stick more things into it than a pincushion.